Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to shed light on the successful visit by Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli to Tunisia, where he presided over or co-presided the Joint Higher Committee with his Tunisian counterpart Najla Bouden, and the number of memos of understanding which were signed during his visit. Also, the Prime Minister was received by Tunisian President Qais Said in Carthage Palace, where he delivered the greetings of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to his Tunisian counterpart, and of course Qais Said conveyed also his greetings to the president in light of the brotherly ties that bind the two Arab countries. To shed more light on the successful visit of the Premier to Tunisia and to the fruitful results of it, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Ain Shams University. A very good morning, Dr. Youmn.
Good morning to you.
Dr. Youmn, as I said, it was, thank God, a very successful visit by the Prime Minister to Tunisia, where he presided over the joint Egyptian-Tunisian Higher Committee. How do you see the importance of having such committees in the first place, and to have these fruitful talks between the two premiers regarding the economic file, including investment, trade, everything related to boosting economy on both sides?
Indeed, this relation is quite important, specifically this period in which Arab countries and the world witnessing severe challenges after COVID-19, as well as the Ukrainian-Russian war, which, added to the gloomy picture of the political as well as economic situation in the whole world. Tunisian relation is gaining quite more importance since it has different dimensions. Our relation with the Tunisian part can be regarded from several dimensions. We have the Arab relations from one perspective, and African relation, as well as our relation as, with EU countries, as these countries have a partnership with the European side. From here it comes the importance of enhancing and strengthening our relations on different sides with the Tunisian counterpart. This committee is quite important to organize, to specify priorities, to manage obstacles that may confront such relations. And I believe that the visit of our Prime Minister to discuss, to how extent we are moving forward towards, activating these relations. What about the size of trade, the size of investment, to how extent these relations are going to the benefit of both countries? I believe it's quite an important visit, and we hope that we would like to activate the role of this committee to be more active. Actually, we need for this committee to be more active to specify different types of investments that may go, how to build, how to build accumulative comparative advantage between the two sides, and including Maghreb too. I believe that to address the economic challenges confronting the world nowadays, one of the most important solutions is economic integration. And I believe our economic integration with North African countries, and as well as they are Arab countries, may gain quite an important and momentum.
And To echo what you have said, Dr. Youmn, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli said it in his speech and also in the press conference which was held after the talks that this session or this 17th edition of the Tunisian Egyptian Economic Forum came at a very critical time with the repercussions of COVID-19 and of course the Ukrainian-Russian war, which has its negative repercussions on the global economy, not only on the Middle East or on the Arab nation, but also the premier was accompanied by a number of high-ranking of ministers, a high-ranking delegation in all economic fields, let's say. And he said it bluntly that Egypt is ready to exchange expertise with Tunisia in all economic fields and in all fields. And they signed a number of memo of understanding. On top of the list was the health care system or the health care service. How do you see this, and how do you see the diversity of economic files which were discussed?
Actually, I can see that, this is what actually we are in deep need for. Since we have the experience of the EU countries, how they built economic integration among themselves by this is what we can call institutional work to be done that are quite essential in order to achieve a better result regarding increasing economic relations between Egypt and the Tunisian part. We need a lot of things to be done. We need to, like what you mentioned, for arranging regarding exchanging experiences for the experience of health conditions, how Egypt has managed to address COVID-19, how to build the capabilities of the medical, the medical staff, how even to enhance our capabilities towards the production of vaccines and, medicine. There are a lot to be discussed, and we can, find a lot of opportunities for mutual relations and enhancing mutual, economic. Economic just contemplating each other, which means that when we talk about the comparative advantage and how we can compete comparative advantage, we can work a lot towards how we can enhance our competitiveness, not to think as Egypt alone and Tunisia alone, but we have to think globally from this perspective. And when we talk like that, our studies as economists can mention that we can gain a lot of momentum regarding building capabilities and enhancing our competitiveness. And this may open opportunities of job for unemployed, for youth, for women in both countries. And I believe it's not what we can mention regarding medicines and vaccines and so can be extended into the manufacture sector. We have previous, experiences in ready-made garments, for example, with Tunisia, how to contemplate each other regarding the comparative advantage, and we can export into the European side. And we have an economic agreement, which is Agadir agreement among the North African countries. If we work on value added, we can export our products into Europe without paying tariffs or taxes. I believe all these can represent potentialities for enhancing our relations, and this may be a cornerstone for the security of our country.
Amen to that. Well, very well said. You are always an added value to our programs, Dr. Youmn. We were very much delighted to have with us via phone Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Ain Shams University. Well, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli was also received in Carthage Palace by Tunisian President Qais Said. We cannot separate economy from politics, and it was such a fruitful meeting, and we hope that, inshallah, all ways of cooperation in all phases between Egypt and Tunisia are going to be boosted and enhanced in the coming future to reach a strategic partnership. Well, also Prime Minister Dr. Madbouli had such a tour in El Qayrawaan, old city of Tunisia, and he was received warmly by the Tunisian people. We are all one. We are all brothers in the great Arab and Islamic nation. Well, by this we come to the end of our episode of our breakfast show today. But for today, tomorrow is another episode and another crew. Stay tuned on Al TV International always for more updates, and for more details, please log on to www.9international.net. You were in the company of my dear colleague and friend Amal Mukhtar and myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman. It's a goodbye for now.